Yeah,
Welcome, brothers. Welcome back to our podcast, Fratelli Talk. It's nice to see you again. How are you, guys?
I'm
Good.
good,
Nice to see
Falco.
you too.
It's yeah, nice to see you too, Nestor. After quite a rough short period for Inter, where obviously I wasn't there for the Atletico Madrid episode, but I watched you guys and I could feel the disappointment. Uh, yeah, that was rough, and then the draw versus Napoli, where I feel, which obviously we will be discussing, I feel we could have won that game, and then the whole Cherby saga and other stuff going on just in the inter world. As they say, when it rains, it pours, and you all have all the newspapers as well, writing a lot of negative stuff all of a sudden, even about the ownership and everything. So, from that perspective, obviously, it's not been a great period, but I think it's a good time that for the international break to come for the club, because if the international break wasn't on right now, I think it would have been quite a crazy. It would have been a proper Pazza Inter moment. I think it would have definitely taken a toll on the team. So yeah, but primarily just happy to be back on the show, Falco. So let's get this started.
Okay. So, yeah, it's nice to see you again with the same guys, but it's okay at all. So we will talk about firstly we talk about the post match from the last match
Mm,
Inter-Napoli that
mm.
the result 1-1. So I want to ask you immediately, amigo Nestor, can you tell us that? I mean, can you give us your opinion? What was our problem uh, in that match that ended with the draw result?
Okay. Oh, nice to see you again, both of you. Regarding Inter-Napoli, well, they both team played after the UEFA Champions League. They both were eliminated from the competition, so they were both exhausted. It was a well-balanced game. I think at the end of the game, the 1-1 draw is the best result for both teams. In the end, it's the first match in Italy in Serie A that Inter draws during this year, 2024. At some point, the winning streak was supposed to end, and it ended. It was a draw. It wasn't a defeat after all. So we mentioned on the previous podcast that Napoli, with the new coach, they were improving step by step, little by little. Even though they have their ups and downs during the course of the season, but it was going to be a tough match. It's not the end of the world. It's a draw. It's not a defeat. We have a very comfortable lead over AC Milan. Juventus also lost the game, so even better. I don't think there's an issue with the defense. Probably they're a little exhausted, the team in general. However, there's a little like Lautaro's in a little bit of a drought, a scoring drought, and also we already knew about Turan because we knew that he was not going to score 20 goals this season, but he's involved in almost every occasion and during the plays during the game, right? So, but it's not a good moment for them to not score goals. So after the international break, that both of them have to come back to scoring a little bit of goals. Forwards, they go through periods, good times and bad times. Probably hope this is a short one for them, and this is a very, very short bad time. We hope that they continue scoring next game.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, regarding Lautaro as well, with this international break, I I was hoping that he could score against Argentina against, I don't remember against what national,
El Salvador. El Salvador.
El, El Salvador.
Yeah, he got an assist, but yeah, obviously the talking point is always whether he scores or not for the national team, I
Yeah,
guess.
that was my hope. It's like to, I mean, to get again his confidence, to get again his confidence, because
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, is losing a little bit his confidence, but that's okay. Maybe uh, the penalty that took still affecting until now, but I mean this international break is means good also for our side, for Inter. But as you can see, guys, here, and we saw also the match, is like Napoli. I mean, from the opponent side, they were very offensive, especially in the second half. And I mean, it was a rare moment. I mean, seeing Inter like, I mean, the corner kick. Usually, Inter gain the corner kick more than, I mean, than the opponent side. But the last match was a little bit different. Maybe, yeah, I agree. I agree with Nestor. What Nestor said, very exhausted, because uh, it was 2 hours, no, 2 hours, 120 minutes, 2 hours. I mean the game. So Parmesvar, in this in the last match, it was the first time for Inter considered the goal in the last 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so uh, we saw also that Juan Jesus was free. Nobody marked him. So what, I mean, can you tell us your opinion? What was the problem? I mean, what?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Falco, do you mind if I share the screen for a second, just so that
Yeah,
because yeah,
sure.
I have one quote from Inzaghi's post-match conference, which
Okay.
I would like to just display. I think I pretty much agree with what he said at that time. Just a second.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah. So is it visible?
Uh, Now, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, just coming to the game in general. Of course, as you said, the marking on that goal wasn't great because usually what happens is that in set pieces we do mark our opponents properly, especially when someone like Acerbi is there on the pitch.
Hmm.
Obviously, now I've mentioned Acerbi. Let me clarify: we are solely talking about the match first. We'll get to other issues later, before anybody takes an issue with it. But yeah, so keeping it strictly to the match, yeah, I mean the defending was very loose on that, which is very rare to see because, as I said, generally we tend to defend set pieces, especially this season, very well. It's man-to-man zonal mix of both marking and nobody's usually left free. I think what happened more on that set piece was that for example, Denzel Dumfries had just come on, and I think he was supposed to mark the area behind Juan Jesus, and he didn't look where he was going. And when you're a new substitute, especially in set pieces, you don't tend to have that idea of where to mark and who to mark. And I think it was just that brief moment with a brief error, and we paid the price. And as Nestor said, rightly so, that we were just exhausted and gassed out. I mean, we played 120 minutes at the Wanda Metropolitano, and I think we all saw how intense that game was. Plus the penalty shootout, which looks like a simple kick of a ball, but takes a lot of pressure mentally and just physically as well. We saw that it took a toll on our players mentally, unfortunately. So considering all that, I was not surprised that the team was completely gassed out in the second half. Like usually in the second half, we notice this pattern with Inter is that despite being behind or even if we are in the lead, we tend to attack a bit more than we did against Napoli. And most of our attacks generally came in the first half and the beginning of the second half, I would say. I mean, if you if you look at the stats as well, we missed a lot of goal scoring chances. It was not just Napoli being good or managing to hang on. We missed a lot of chances in the game. We should have minimum we could have been 2-0 up, and we just didn't take our chances, and that happens. That I think there was this. I think you guys will agree there was this hangover from the Atletico Madrid game, because even in the Atletico Madrid game, you saw players like Marcus Thuram who were just not getting into the game. Like Marcus Thuram was completely physically dominated, and even against Napoli, Juan Jesus put up, like, to his credit, obviously he might not be the greatest of players out there, but he put up a monster class, and he pocketed Thuram. He even pocketed Lautaro. Looked completely exhausted, man. Like he looked out of place. So I think it happens. Like, and as Nestor said, this is the first game we are drawing in 2024, and I think we are allowed to have that one game because of the gap we have created and because of the run. You can't win all the games. It's not that simple, especially when you're coming off after such a demanding match. As you can see in Simone Inzaghi's quote, he's disappointed, obviously, and he said we were good in the first half and beginning of the second half, and Sommer didn't have much to do in that period. But then eventually, as the team got exhausted, that is when Napoli started believing, yeah, we can score one goal and get a draw here. And that's exactly what happened. And you can see Napoli have improved ever since Calzona has come in a bit. It's not perfect or anything, but a bit. And so I was not really surprised that this ended in a draw. I just felt that the players will feel not just the physical effects, but the mental effects of the game from the Atletico Madrid game. And it's not just us. Like, this is not an excuse I want to use, but even Atletico Madrid got smashed at home. They are supposed to have the perfect home record. They got smashed at home to Barcelona. So both teams felt it. So I mean, it's fine. I would say, to Nestor's point, one thing, as he said, um, first draw, we are allowed to have this draw. It came at the right time, right before the international break. Because I think had we had another game continuously, this team would have just gotten exhausted. Sure, some of their players are still playing for their countries, but I think that rest period which they got, and some of them staying back, I think helps, especially Mkhitaryan, given that he's retired from international football. The guy's just always playing, always starting. So I think he needed the rest. Like someone like Bisek, who's inexperienced from a mental perspective, when you go out in such fashion from the Champions League, I think he needed a break. Stuff like that. So I think it's fine. For me, it's a case of Falco. We have to bounce back immediately. There should be no excuses because, yeah, sure, we have a 14-point lead over AC Milan right now, but we do not. I believe in this team, right? This 23-24 squad. I think we will win the Scudetto, sure. But you don't want a repeat of 21-22. Not, like, it's absolutely unforgivable if that happens by any miracle. Just unforgivable. So, because you remember in the 21-22 season, there was a point where we had a 9-point lead. Sure, we didn't have the depth that time, and we were playing three competitions at once. Right now, we are just playing the Serie A and we have better depth. But if that happens, Falco, that's a disaster. So there needs to be immediate reaction. There's no two ways about it. As Nestor said, sure, Lautaro is having a drought. He's not scoring much, but he has to step up now. This is the time you have to wrap up the Scudetto. There's no two ways about it. Thuram, after the national break, hopefully he doesn't get injured. First of all, fingers crossed, nobody gets injured. Uh, he has to wake up because the last two games have been disastrous for him. Hakan, yeah, sure, he's playing week in, week out. Same, he needs to wake up. Defender situation, we have to see. We will discuss it in depth later on with the Cherby situation. So there's a lot going on, Falco. These players can't afford to fumble the bag now. Even if it's an ugly 1-0 win against Empoli, I'll take it. The whole point is that they need to refocus and get the Scudetto, man.
Wow, very very optimistic, but that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You know that by many Milan fans after
Mhm.
the draw against Napoli,
Mhm.
they
Mhm.
they've started to, I mean, to to calculate again, to make to be good in mathematics, to calculate the
Yeah.
percentage of winning the Scudetto. So
Mhm.
I don't know the gap.
I get it.
They'll need more than a scientific calculator. That's okay.
No,
So
look, Falco, I mean, see, the thing is, the problem is where they're getting this confidence is from, because it happened in the 21-22 season, unfortunately. The thing is, the situation is a bit different now than it was back then. You remember back in that season, we didn't even have a proper Brozovic backup. I mean, Hakan wasn't even playing as a regista. numerically also, we didn't have 24 players. We had less. We were ridden with injuries. I remember we had just played Liverpool, Napoli. That was better Napoli. That was a better Napoli team, back to back. I remember. So it was a much more tough period. I understand. But yeah, as I said, Falco, like obviously, because that has happened before, they are getting that confidence from that. But I don't think this team will do that. Sure. Now, I saw some fans panicking. Now, just forget Milanisti for a second, Falco. I saw Interisti panicking that we'll actually drop all 14 points and they'll overtake us. So I don't think so. I think we'll do it. But yeah, it's just that this period as a whole, because it's the international break, Inter aren't playing, it has been a negative period, which we'll discuss about. So I think we'll just do, as Hakan keeps saying, I think he said yesterday of the Turkey game as well, that we know that we are in the lead for the Scudetto, but we are not looking at the Derby clash or anything. Our job is to get the Scudetto. So I think I'm
Yeah.
with him on that.
I just want to add one little thing for what Parmeshar said. We
Yeah.
have seen Inzaghi matured and he has learned his lessons
Yeah.
with the passing of the years, right? So I don't think he's gonna make the same mistakes that he's made over the last one or two seasons, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Also, as you mentioned, the depth of the team. It's a better team than the one from two seasons ago. The
Absolutely.
defense is way more solid.
Mm.
The goalkeeper is different. So
Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
we need to like stay calm, be
Yeah.
patient, don't get anxious, and just believe in the team. I mean, we've never felt this not overconfident, but confident and
Yeah.
calm with this team since a very,
Exactly.
very long time.
Yeah. And to
Okay.
what the point about confidence, we created this points gap for a reason, right? I mean, we were plus 16 plus, and obviously because UA loss is plus 19, but just sticking to AC Milan solely because it's plus 14. We created this gap for a reason that going down the line, there will be one or two games where they will draw points. As Nestor said rightly, that it's just impossible to win all games all the time. Like, I mean, it's just one draw and one loss. So it happens. But like I know this Inter team was expected to do better in the Champions League, but unfortunately, it is what it is. We I think the main takeaway is that we should win the Scudetto and then learn from this season and focus on the Champions League and the second and the Scudetto again next season.
Good. I mean, you guys are very, very confident, but
Inspired. We're inspired.
Inspired, yeah,
We
that's
have a
right.
lot to talk about. Well, Parmeshar is inspired.
I mean, because
Mm,
from my side, I have a
mm.
little bit anxious.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Because we played like the same performance. We saw the same performance in the game in Atletico
Mm, mm,
and the game after I mean
mm,
INTER-NAPOLI.
mm,
So I
mm.
don't know if there is a problem that will affect psychologically to the team. So that's why to the mentality of the team, for the whole team, because
Fair enough.
other than some injuries problem
Mm,
with some of our players like Arnautovic and
mm.
Quadrado, and then Sensi. I think Sensi will be useful also in will be used still will be useful. I think. Yeah, because
Even if he's available, he doesn't get chance.
yeah, but I mean we we have we have
Yeah.
we have nine matches to play, but I think
Mm.
it's good also um to give you some chances. Yeah,
Let me ask you, Falco. Like, are you like you said anxious, right? Like, are you really worried that this 14-point lead will vanish and we'll actually let me finish the question, then you answer. Like, are you really worried that this 14-point lead will vanish away and then obviously the worst nightmare will come true? Because you have a fair see. You have a fair point in after the way we played against, as you said, after the way we played against Atleti and Napoli, right?
Yeah,
As you said,
it's
but but
disturbing a
but
little
but
bit.
but to counter that, let me finish. But to counter that, before those two games, we have been playing excellent. Plus, throughout the whole season, as Nestor said, we've been beating top teams left, right, and center. It's not like
Okay.
we've done it the easy way, right, Falco? So I get where the doubt is coming from, and it always goes back to 21, 22. But tell me, Falco, don't you, as Nestor said, don't you see more maturity in this side, better preparation, better mental strength, and just better quality to believe in them, to see them, to believe that they can see this through? Or do you still feel worried somewhere?
Maybe I can say that it seems disturbing me a little bit. I mean,
Okay, fair enough.
the results of this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the last two games. But
Mm-hmm.
I hope for Inter-Napoli we will be back uh, to our best
Yeah,
to our
fair
best
enough.
side. No, okay,
Is
Falco,
there
I
is there
wanted to
anything?
add that.
Yeah, sure, sure. Go ahead, Nesta.
something.
Okay, thank you. Well, you get past the anxious part throughout the years. I also
Hmm.
suffer from anxiety watching Inter games years ago.
Yeah, yes.
However,
Okay.
I forgot what I wanted to say. Okay, no, sorry, I forgot. I forgot.
No, no, but just to ask Falco, right? You're anxious, fair enough. But what is that one thing that is making you so anxious? Like just one factor, just briefly, if you want to point something out, what is that one thing that is making you so anxious about the student?
Um, just I mean just the results from two last
Okay,
games
okay, fair
and
enough,
also the I mean the performance that we saw on
fair
the
enough.
pitch.
Yeah, I mean, see,
Okay,
you have a valid reason. Yeah,
I remember. Sorry, Parmesan.
Okay.
sure, sure. Go ahead, Mister.
This is a very comfortable lead, Falco and Parmesan. 14
Hmm.
points. If we had this kind of
Hmm.
lead or Inter back in
Hmm.
December or January, we would say,
Hmm.
okay, yes, there's still a lot, half of the season to go, but we're in the
Hmm.
middle or almost by the end of March.
Yeah,
So
you can see the
it's
points. Yeah.
it's very impossible. Get the anxiety out of the way and stay calm
Look,
because
look, look. See,
everything
to
is
one, to one.
going is really positive. It's really
Yeah,
positive.
look.
Actually, I'm sorry. I wanted to. We already in the countdown for the Scudetto. Already in the countdown.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not yet, but yes, countdown. But yes, countdown.
As you said that, Falco's shaking. I can tell you that Falco's like, don't say it, man. He's shaking.
Mm,
No, some people started to make a countdown.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw that. But see, look, to his
That's
point, right?
that's
Just to give
that's right.
Falco the
That's
benefit
true
of
what you
the doubt.
said.
Yeah, just to give you the benefit of the doubt, Falco. Look, we are
Yeah.
playing Empoli, right? Looks easy on paper, but we all know that in this half of the season, relegation battling teams step up. Like, if you see, like, just look at some of Empoli's results and everything, it's actually not easy. Like, even they gave a good fight to AC Milan at the San Siro as well. Sure, they lost the game, but it was a very tight game. So, look, Falco has valid points, but I think I'm here with Nestor more because I just have more confidence in this team. Like, I just feel despite certain absentees, like because we have seen the whole season, right? If you look at the season as a whole, there was a whole period when Pavard was out for 1.5 months in 2023. Bisek had to stepped up. We won all the games in that period. So all those kind of things give me confidence. So yeah, Falco. I mean, we'll see Falco, but I can't blame you, I guess, so for being so
Yeah.
nervous.
That's normal.
it was not an arrogant comment by my part. It was just
Yeah,
confidence
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
yeah,
gained
yeah.
throughout the years.
yeah, yeah.
I
Fair
can I
enough.
can
Yeah.
understand that. I can understand that it's maybe I mean from my side
Mm,
it's like not I mean it's not easy to
mm,
accept
mm.
the 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 results of the last two games. It's like we
Yeah,
were we
yeah,
were we were not
mm,
in our best
yeah,
side.
yeah.
So,
Mm.
but that's
But
that's fine.
Who do you guys think was the man of the match against Napoli? Like Falco, like who do you think was the standout player?
Sorry, can you repeat?
Who do you think was the man of the match? Man of the match against Napoli. Who do you think stood out?
You mean from Inter or from the whole? I mean,
And whole game. I mean,
whole
you can
game.
say from an yeah, Inter perspective mainly if you want, because I mean,
Hmm.
I think it was Darmian because he was very solid the whole game. I don't think he put a foot wrong. I mean, sure, on the screen we see the highest rating for Darmian, but he did score and he was very solid too. Yeah, sorry, Falco.
But if I can name for two players, I would like to
Hmm.
mention Juan Jesus that because
Yeah, of course.
he did many good
Hmm.
intercepts, no? That
Yes,
I mean that chance
absolutely.
from Turan, I think, or from
Yeah,
Barella,
yeah.
from Barella, it was very close. It was
Yeah, the
very
Barella one, correct.
from Barella, yeah, from Barella,
Yeah,
yeah, from
yeah,
Barella.
yeah.
He
It was
scored.
very close.
Yeah, our ex-player.
Yeah. And Nestor, what do you think? Who do you think was the man of the match?
Yeah, I would say Barella also. What we mentioned, I think two podcasts ago, Darmian always over Dumfries. Always. It's a
Always.
no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not difficult. For
Couldn't agree
me,
more.
Dumfries only has to play, and I apologize for all the Dutch Inter fans. Dumfries only has to play in Coppa Italia. That's it.
Oh,
And until
whoa,
like
whoa.
before the semifinal. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We paid 45 million euros for Ashraf Hakimi. Then they purchased Dumfries for 12 million. I mean, we get what we paid for it, so
Uh,
it's okay.
yeah,
Okay,
Falco. So, yeah, take
so thank you guys for I mean for staying optimistic in the, in
We're
this.
yeah,
gonna cheer
no,
you up, Falco. We're gonna cheer you up.
yeah, 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 sure, definitely.
Okay, so we can discuss I mean another topic from I mean from for INTER-NAPOLI.